Hello, I am back on ACK. I love that sound effect. It's so good. Geeks, I see you. I saw that. I saw that. But hey, we're back again. It is episode 3 of finding which car resonates with me the best in ACC. So we got some good contenders in the top 2 with the Porsche 911 GT3 and the Ford Mustang GT3. Today we're going to properly give the Mercedes AMG GT3 a good whirl. We did give it a whirl about 3 or 4 streams ago. This was one of the first cars I tried. But given that now I'm learning more about the game and I know a thing or two about a thing or two, and I'm able to push the cars a lot harder on these tracks, I want to see what the car feels like when pushed to the limit. And we're also gonna slap on a setup. I wanna see what the car feels like at its optimal state, at its possible best. So I'm gonna pull up a setup that Casti has shared with me. A friend of ours has shared with me a setup, and we're gonna try to see what we can do. Right? How's it going, geeks? How's it going, man? Hope you're doing good. Need a good hand stretch. I did not have enough time to work out today. I was feeling kind of lazy and just slept off. But man, turns out the big problem that I have, right, is I just need sun. I just need sun. I just need to go out. I gotta do this right every single morning. I need to wake up. I need to just move. Move in the morning, go out, get some sun. If it's not raining, like before I do anything else in the day, get out, get some sun for like a few minutes. Just get some sun, right? I can work out in the house in the morning. I can do skipping, I can do my stretches and all that. But just go out, even if just standing there for a few minutes under the sun, just soak that in. I need that sun. And I was thinking about it, right? I'm going to go on a bit of a rant, a bit of a side tangent here before we jump in the stream. But I remember how I was so locked in and like focused back in my school days, back when I was in uni. And I remember, when I think about it, I remember when it all started going downhill. COVID. COVID was when it all started going downhill. COVID was when I stopped going outside. I was walking less. I was moving less in the mornings, right? I wasn't walking to class at 8 a.m. I wasn't doing any of that. I was stuck at home in my room. I was stuck in my room. I'd wake up, I'd stay in my room. Some days I would just live the entire day in my room. I'd bring lunch to my room. I'd do my online classes in my room. I'd work in my room. I'd play video games in my room. I'd sleep in my room. And that's it. And so many days of just doing that. And even now, especially for the past couple of years when I've been working, I wake up. I wake up before the sun even rises. I drive to the office. I'm stuck in a little padded cube with no natural light whatsoever. I don't go out for lunch because I take a nap or I go to the gym. And I don't really get sun at all. I don't get sun at all for the past couple of years. I haven't been getting much. And every time I do go out, the off chance that I do go out and get some sun, I feel great, you know? So, am I a plant? Maybe. But also, your boy just needs some sun. It's less of the ADHD and more just I don't have enough sunlight and I need to photosynthesize. That's just the problem. I don't have energy. I don't have that natural energy. What is the vitamin that comes from sunlight again? Vitamin B12, is it? Vitamin B12? Yeah. Man, I've been making that a thing now. Now that I've noticed it for the past couple of weeks, I have been making it a point to try and go outside. It started off with my morning runs. Yeah, I've been going for a run for like just over a week now. Every other day I go for a run, and in between I do skipping instead if I don't feel like running. Sometimes I just wake up and I'm like, I don't want to run today. Running is hard. Because it's just 3 kilometers. I just do a few laps of a little field near my house, and that's about it. But even that is so tiring sometimes, and I just dread it so much. And I would rather do skipping instead. But running is just like a full body workout, and it's just great for the cardio. No mistake there. So I gotta get back to running, and that's my daily dose of sunlight and movement. I'd say. So I don't want to make it a point to move. Just move. Ideally in the morning, if not in the evening. Yeah, I'm not gonna give myself reasons as to why things aren't working out or whatever. I'm just giving myself excuses at this point. But yeah, that aside, hope you all are having a good start to the weekend. Happy Saturday, everyone. As you can see, we've got the Merc AMG setup pulled up here. I did get some like photos of what the setups look like. It's not exactly a file. I'm a little old school that way. I like to look at the picture of the setup and then I like to manually adjust the knobs, which is what I'm gonna do here. All right, now hear me out. This setup is technically for Watkins Glen. I don't know if it still would apply here, but we're gonna assume it is. Right, we got some aggressive numbers going here. Got some real aggressive numbers. So we got fully maxed out camber. We got negative toe on the rears, which is wild. That's a lot. Seven. 7 on the rear. 7 on the rear. 7 on the rear, 8 on the front. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, that's one thing done. All right, this seems decent. We'll start it off with 3 and then we'll roll it down and we'll see how that works out. Right? Don't blame something man-made. Yeah, I am man-made. I'm made, well, not a man. I'm man-made. But what is man-made? You know, a lot of things are man-made. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. It's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate reality of life. Okay, let's see what the numbers say. Oh my God! There's no way. The anti-roll bar 10. Are you kidding? There's no. What on earth? What in the steer ratio 1357.4? What on God's green earth is this? This is, and it's all soft springs everywhere. It's soft springs, soft bump stop rate, but very, very soft wheel rate on the front. With a lot of range. Very soft, lot of range, and then not enough range on the rear. What on earth? Okay, this is a Watkins Glen setup, and then that goes to, man, this is wild. Okay, this is simple. The bump, you basically make it as soft as possible, and then everything else, you make it 7. Who on earth comes up with these numbers, man? Again, this may not be great here at the Nürburgring, right? Because this is a Watkins Glen setup, so I will have to save it, and maybe we will test it on the Glen as well. Oh, are you joking? And then maximum wing. And the ducks, you bring them down to 3 and 3. This is insane. This is insane. It's wild. Okay, we're gonna keep it at 62 liters. Right? Okay, oh, there we go. There's a button here. I can save it, right? I'm gonna save it as Watkins Funky AMG. I'm gonna save that as that. All right. Not gonna lie, I am a little scared. I'm a little bit scared. Because this could go either way, right? This could go either way. This could either be the best thing I've driven or the absolute worst thing I've driven and there's not going to be anything in between. I don't know. We've also got another setup for the Porsche. Now the Porsche is going to be, that's a Silverstone setup. So I don't know how to optimize them for the Nürburgring, you know, because the Nürburgring I think is not really a high downforce track. You don't need a high downforce. You can kind of get away with a bit less downforce, I'd say. So it's a matter of how do you balance it out. How do you balance it out? Oh, speaking of other things as well, what I did today, I went to the mall today and I tried the Logitech RS50 wheel. It was a demo unit at the mall, and I gave that a try again. The same one I tried last time, but the mall was empty and the store was empty. So I got more seat time, you could say. I was just kind of there. I was fiddling with the base settings and all. I could adjust all of the force feedback settings. It's quite comprehensive. Lots of stuff, the true force and the damper. It's all built into the base. You just click a button and you adjust it with the knobs there. They still haven't like calibrated it properly or anything, but I cranked it up like the maximum 8 Newton meters, and it felt great. It really felt great. It felt like a much stronger version of the TGT, because that's what essentially it is. The TGT goes up to 6 newtons. The RS50 goes up to 8. So the 8 is more like, yeah, that's Fanatec CSL-DD territory. That's as much as you'd need, honestly. You don't need anything more than that for Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo is not a very physically demanding game. Gran Turismo, the details matter more in Gran Turismo, because that's what really helps you feel what the car's doing. The understeer is great. The oversteer, losing the tires, you know, feeling all the little road texture, the surface undulations. It's all very well done in Gran Turismo, and it felt really, really good on the wheel. I tried the Porsche Cayman GT4. I tried the MX-5. Trial Mountain at the Tokyo route. It felt great. Maybe we've still got like 6 months till this year's TGR rolls around. If I get a job, if I can find a second-hand one, that'll be great, you know. And oh, the pedals. I cranked up the pedal force to the max. For a 75 kilogram load cell sensor, it was pretty stiff, right? I don't know if they have like exchangeable elastomers or the little squishy things. I don't think it's an elastomer, because it was very consistent. But my God, it's smooth. It is incredibly smooth. Incredibly smooth. It is. So I know I said that I detuned my TLCM pedals, right? I used to have Symagic springs on them to make them really stiff, and I loved that, right? I loved it. It felt really authentic, like a real GT car. But then I realized I couldn't do rallying. I couldn't do normal manual car driving. I couldn't do any of that. It was not really enjoyable. Driving road cars was a pain, like an Assetto Corsa, AC Evo. I want to use my manual. I want to learn how to drive a manual. But I just couldn't enjoy it that much. Driving classic cars was also not very enjoyable, not very fun. So I softened the springs. I've gone back to the default Thrustmaster springs, but I've gone for the hardest one. But even the hardest one is still incredibly soft and squishy. Like, I'm barely using any force, but I am going up to 80 kilograms of force on there. But yet the Logitech one, though, it blew my mind, because I was pushing all 70 kilos, but it felt stiffer than the one I have here. Yeah, it was only like 70 or 60 kilos, but it felt stiffer because the travel was a lot shorter. But my God, it was smooth. There was no squeaky feeling. There was no jitter. There was no awkward pause. So the brake trace was incredibly smooth. I mean, for what it is, right? For a mid-range wheel, I think that is some of the best pedals I felt. I think Thrustmaster has a lot of work to do to compete with their own race line load cell, which is not released on or announced yet. It's taking them a while. I don't know what's taking them so long. They gotta lock in on that. How's it going, Nara? I am feeling honestly quite physically exhausted today. I can't believe what I'm feeling. It's actually... The car's actually turning. It is snappy. It's got that snap. It's got that bite. Touched some grass today. Yeah, and I went to the mall today too, had some really good food. I got my lunch sorted for the next couple of days. I got me some hot bird chicken tenders as takeout for tomorrow and Monday. I got my protein. It's turning because it's pink. Oh, but also because I've got a wacky setup. I've actually slapped on the setup that Cassidy shared to me on Discord. So this is that setup right here. Here's the surprising thing though. The front anti-roll bar is maxed out and the rear anti-roll bar is at the bottom. This shouldn't turn. This shouldn't turn in theory, but it does. It's got so much mid-corner rotation. It's actually insane. And you can see the pink lights on the dash kind of flashing, indicating that it's not quite on the limit. I mean, the front tires are locking up, or the ABS or the traction control is activating. It's nice to roam around the mall alone. You went alone to the mall? Why'd you do that? It's got a bit too much rotation when the torque gets high. Trying to keep that in check. Yeah, man, look, I love my TLCM, but the Logitech RS50 pedals are just leagues ahead compared to this. Even the throttle pedal, which is like a basic spring-loaded lever. There's no like a secondary spring or anything. Oh, I didn't get a close look at how it actually operates. Even the throttle was so stiff. The thing with stiff pedals is just that they're reassuring, you know. The throttle felt great. The brakes felt amazing for what it is, right? The brakes are actually amazing. They're incredible. I thought 75 kilogram load cell, you know, wouldn't mean much, wouldn't mean anything, but I was wrong. "75 kilograms is plenty when the elastomer mechanism itself is so well built. It feels robust, like I could squeeze it so hard and it would still hold. It felt great. But more than that was that I could trail brake with such precision. That's what I loved about it. Now we are on the setup. I'm trying to optimize the setup. The car is quite slippy. I'm trying to stay within what the bounds of the car. Trying to get a grip for what the car can do. I'm trying to get it to the right line. Right now I'm still learning the car's tendency, so we're quite a ways off. But the car feels great. It feels a lot better than default, for sure. I also ought to find better gearing for the car to see which gears work better for which corners. Even the race lines are good. Ah, yeah, the race lines are fine. But they're just not Logitech RS50 good, you know. Just isn't. Understeer, scrubbing there. Ah, yeah, lost 2 whole tenths in that first sector there. Here's what I find peculiar though. This setup feels great, but it is not that much faster than the Mustang or even the Porsche. We're barely scraping 56s here. I'm yet to break even. Yeah, whoa, very, very far off here. The first couple laps, it does feel a bit skittish, but after a while, yeah, a lot of potential. Better, but could be even better, I think, by about a tenth. Don't counter steer. Keep it controlled and push wide. Squeeze it like that. There you go. It's got the usual Mercedes resistance that I'm used to. It's still got far too much slip on the rear tires, I think. Especially on coasting and on throttle, because the differential is set to really low preload. Lost a lot of speed there. Yeah, even with the traction control kind of holding it for me, it's still still not letting me drive it up to the fullest potential. The TC is definitely intervening way too much. So here's my issue now. We're doing 156.3 now that the temperatures are up. It feels like I'm pushing within safe bounds. I say safe, but not really. They did the exact same lap time there, somehow. There we go. There's something like that. That swift motion there. What I'm trying to accomplish. So just pause real quick, right? This is what, 4 or 5 laps in. Even with a setup, I'm only managing 56s, and even on a good lap, if I don't keep messing up the corners, we're barely going into the 55s, 54s, right? Barely. We're still doing 56s at this point. Here's what's puzzling. With the Porsche and the Mustang, we could do 55s out of the box. Like, they could just do 55. So is it the driving style of the Merc? Is that something I should is something I need to take note of? What is it about this car that's holding me back in a way? Whatever it is, I think it's a bit weird. Don't you think? Once the RS50 comes here, I'll sell the R3 and get the RS50. Nice. I second that. I fully support that. That is good. Oh no. Oh no, where my water bottle? No. The 24 hours of 12 hours? The 12 hours of Bathurst happens today at iRacing. A lot of people I know were doing it. The Aslan brothers, Nakib and Nabil, they were running P2 in top split. P2 in top split, and I believe they won P2 as well. How do you do that, man? Like, P2 in top split among like proper esports team, just a couple of dudes. It's insane, man, how quick they are. I would suffer because I get exactly. You get the best of Gran Turismo and perhaps the best on PC sims as well. I don't like when it counter steers when I go over that curb, but I don't see any other way to counter that movement. My other option is I'm trying to consider if maybe not curbing that inside curb is better, but it is a shorter line and you do carry a lot more minimum speed. I just don't know if it's the best course of action. Oh. Hang on. I just got pressure loss right front. Why? Because I hit a bit of sand. There's no way that this works. You know, look at this. I just don't understand, man. It doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. Also, I'm not really on board with this rear wing being this high. Like, I do want to turn it down a bit. I don't think it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, dog. It doesn't make sense. Again, 56.4. I think I could have done a 55. Let's check the time. Yeah, this could have been a 55. I think I could have done a 55, 55.8, 55.7-ish. Around there. But the fact that I've plateaued at 56, which is still a full second quicker than what I've done with it before, but it's still a full second or more slower than the Porsche and the Mustang. Again, I just can't get it out of my head. Just the fact that we almost did a 154 with the default aggressive setup on the Mustang with half a tank of race fuel, mind you. Half a tank of race fuel. We did that. That's just what's kind of blowing my mind right now. I'm still in disbelief with it. I don't know what's in this setup, but it's wild. Whatever that's in here. Ooh, boy. Crazy. Give this another shot. You know, my brakes are nice and controlled now too. I like how soft they are. It's a lot less straight on my left foot. But it's still, because it's a spring action and not like an elastomer, there is still friction between the spring plates, the spring dividers, the real things that go between the springs, you know. There is still a bit of friction in there, and the action of the friction, the spring squeezing itself has some friction to it, and that doesn't feel particularly great. There we go, just one click of each change has stabilized the rear quite a lot. I got to turn in way earlier for that there. I got the same issue again, where the tires are reaching that limit of grip rather quickly, probably because of the caster. I mean, it feels just like what I'm used to, you know? I'm used to driving the Mercedes and every other sim. It feels just like it. was terrible. I just not know how to take that corner in particular. Even this corner as well. Like sometimes I'm trying to brake late, sometimes I'm trying to brake early. I'm doing different things every lap, expecting a better result. I'm not doing the same thing exactly. Yeah, you're right. I wasn't used to the Mustang. But without a doubt, it was faster. It was faster. And with the setup, it can potentially be even better. Right now, though, I can't really complain because this is with the setup. This is with a setup that's supposedly good. So if the cars are not as good as I expected it to be, then it's not a setup issue, it's a me issue. I think now it becomes a matter of how do I extract that performance out of this car with this setup? Like, how do I do that, you know? Like it seems like my best on this setup is still gonna be sort of the quickest I can do with the Porsche and the Mustang and some of the other cars we've got. Lost a tenth there. Lost a tenth there. Lost a tenth there. Lost all the time there. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. 55.5. Yeah, that is good. 55 is good. 55 is what we're hoping for, but the fact that it took me such a long time to get there. I think the setup is capable. The car is capable. However, I do have one thing to say, which my whole point about this car was that it felt safe, it felt drivable. With the setup, it no longer feels safe. It feels just as wild as the Mustang now. So if I were to choose this, why would I choose this when the Mustang is just clearly faster? Why would I do that? When on a default setup, right? Default setup with no optimizations whatsoever, the Mustang is going half a second quicker than this car. Whereas this car is supposedly at its peak right now. It has been set up as good as it can go, but we're only getting 55.5. I probably can squeeze a 55 flat. I definitely can. Also, Master Flex, welcome in. Pleasure having you here. Oh, that is a very, very long text message. Let me just... You're missing something fundamental and you want to be pointed in the right direction. Now, that's a very broad question. And I'm glad you're loving the game, though. It is a fantastic game if you're on the right hardware. Is there anything in particular that you notice that you're struggling with? Because I'll be honest, I could tell you everything you don't know, and I'll be honest as well. I don't know everything about this game. I'm still very new to it as well. I'm still trying to learn. I too am depending on fellow veterans and experts in the chat to help me out. I just know what I know from other simulators, but even that's not much. But point being that this is a very complicated game and there is a lot to know about lots of things. But since you mentioned you're new, I don't suppose you know about how important tire pressures are? Tire pressures are essentially, if you look at the bottom right corner, those green cubes there next to the speedo, and you see the PSI, pounds per square inch, all up in there. So you can see my tires are now in the 26 PSI range, which actually means that they are within the optimal range for the most part. Let me actually do something real quick. Let's return to the garage. Okay. Let's return to the garage. Crank this up by 2, crank this up by 3. Crank this up by 2, and this is perfect. Leave it at that. Okay. So it is slightly modified. It is slightly modified, but I'll take it. It sounds better. It looks better. Yeah. Look at the meter later. I love the number 222. Which meter? What meter? Where meter? What meter? And the optimal tires are between 26.6 and 22. Yes, that is correct. I was just going to say the tire pressures are ideally between 26.6 and 27.2. But I like to narrow that range down to 26.8 to 27. So there's a 0.2 gap. Now, problem with that is it's very hard to get all 4 tires within the ideal range all the time for certain tracks, like Watkins Glen, for instance. Because you've got long corners with lots of camber, you're loading one side and then you're offloading it, and then you're loading another side and then you're offloading it. So there will be moments where one side of the car gets overpressured and then it cools down, and then another side of the car gets overpressured. But rule of thumb is if it's a clockwise circuit, most of the time, like Nürburgring is a clockwise circuit, the left side tire, because you're turning right a lot, the left side tire is going to be loaded and the pressure there is going to be a lot higher. So you want to have the left side maybe 1 to 2 PSI lower than the right side. And even that is temperature dependent as well. If you look at the temperature, 21 degrees ambient, 27 degree track temperature. Apparently, someone taught me that 21 degrees ambient, that is the only one you want to be really concerned about. The lower the temperature, the bigger the pressure differential. I mean, as in how much more you got to compensate for it, because it takes a longer time for the tires to heat up. So you just want to pump a bit more air in them, because the tires aren't going to heat up naturally. The 3-screen meter. What is blood on about? What are you talking about? Setting up the car and all the mechanics and stuff, I don't understand. And I've never been in the same with any game, but when it comes setting up the car, right, just go with default. Oh yeah, I completely understand. I too was like you, because this is the only sim I would say that has such a huge emphasis on on car setup. Every other game, you kind of just fine with the default, right? Even the aggressive preset is fine. For all intents and purposes, the aggressive preset is fine. Right? It works fine. Now, I can't tell you everything about everything because I don't know. I don't know. I know. I know. I mean, I've read the notes. I have my notes are right down here. I've got printouts and everything. I know what they all do, but I can't tell you what correct combination of numbers will make the car feel right. Like even this is a setup shared by a friend of ours, and I'm just trying to see what it can do. And technically, I understand if this setup doesn't work at the Nürburgring because this setup is for Watkins Glen. So what we should do is actually go to Watkins Glen and then try it out there, right? That's what we should be doing. We should be going to the Glen and giving it a whack there. But long story short, the simplest thing you can do if you don't want to mess with all this other kind of numbers, make sure the pressure is fine. And the way you do that is you do about 4 to 5 laps. You come back to the pits and then you take a look at this thing here, PSI hot. PSI hot. Take a look at that. Now this is an average value. This is an average value. This is a good thing to look at as a whole. But like I said, some corners, they overload some tires more than the other at any given corner. A good example is Watkins Glen, because it's all long corners mostly. Eau Rouge and Raidillon at Spa. Pujon through Spa. So you're loading... Spa is quite balanced. What is a really unbalanced track, you guys? What's an unbalanced track? Well, what track has like a really long-ass corner? I'd say Zandvoort. Yeah, Zandvoort's final corner. So assume you're coming through the final sector at Zandvoort and you're turning right for such a long time. You're just turning, and you're heating up the left tire so much. By the time you go to turn one, your right side tire. Turn one is also a right-hand corner. By the time you're hitting turn one, your left side tires are overloaded and they are hot, or they just overinflated, right? So you're not going to get that grip, and they're going to be slippy. So how do you balance the initial pressure where it heats up to the initial range, but it's slightly lower because in preparation for that 1 or 2 extreme corners on the track where you're turning left or right for a very long time and you're overloading the car, the downforce and the weight all going there. Rule of thumb is you want it to be perfect, but if there is funny corners, or I would like to call these one-off extreme corners, you have to compensate for that particular side of the car being maybe 1 or 2 psi lower to compensate for the overloading and the overinflation. That's what you got to do. And so this is a good benchmark. So 26.9, perfect. 26.6, fine. I would like it a bit higher. 26.5, a little bit low. I want it a bit higher. 26.7 is fine, but I do want it to be a bit higher. And notice how the left side is higher than the right side. It's 9 and 7 compared to 6 and 5. Right? Because it's a clockwise circuit. You're turning right more than you're turning left. Another rule of thumb as well is just count the corners. So Nürburgring is a clockwise circuit. Okay, I'm gonna right hand, left hand, right? So turn one, right-hander, and then turn two, left-hander, left-hander, right-hander, left-hander, right-hander, right-hander, left-hander, right-hander, left-hander, right-hander, right-hander, left-hander, right-hander, right-hander. So you've got 9 to 6, 9 to 6. Right, this is just a baseline. 9 to 6 right-handers to left-handers. So it is a more right-hand corner heavy track. So there's 3 more right-hand corners. So at a minimum, you want the left side tires to be 1 psi lower than the rear. Right, and then how much difference is depending on the nature of the corner. Like Nürburgring is also, I would say, pretty balanced. There's no one corner that overloads the tires all too much. There's no long corner. They're all mostly short, medium corners. The only corner I think that overloads the tires a lot is this corner here. This is the only long corner, and it's a right-hander. So that's all you need. Everything else kind of it goes quickly. It's a one-off corner, one-off corner. You're not really putting too much strain on the tires. You strain it and then you cool it off. You strain it and then you cool it off. So there is a time where it loads and then unloads, loads and then unloads. You're heating it up, cooling it down, heating it up, cooling it down. So it's a good way to see that. Watkins Glen, for instance, right? Watkins Glen as well. So Watkins, let's count the corners at Watkins. You've got right-hander, right-hander, left-hander, right-hander. We're going to not worried about the chicane. The chicane is basically right, left, left, right. So we're gonna not count it, right? And then very long right, very long left, very long right, and then right, another right, and then left, left, right, right? Okay, so see, Watkins is a weird track. The ratio of left hand corners to right hand corners is 9-7. It's a clockwise circuit which turns right for the most part, but it's got more left hand corners than right hand corners, right? But you still want to compensate for the right hand corners. Even though there's 2 more extra left hand corners, why you want to compensate for the right hand corners? Because the 7 right hand corners that exist on the track are all high pressure corners. Turn 1, it's a high pressure corner. The right hander after the chicane, after the bus stop chicane, it's a very long right hander. And that one corner alone heats up your tires so much where if you overheat it, it kind of ruins your entire third sector. Then there's a long left hander after that. There's a long uphill right hander after that. And then another uphill blind right after that. And then the final corner as well. The final corner and turn 1 are 2 back-to-back right handers. All right, so it's not just about the number of corners, but also about the severity of each corner. So you can have less corners, less corner ratio, like left hand to right hander, despite being a clockwise circuit. But if the lower number of corners are still severe corners, like Zandvoort is a good example. Zandvoort final corner, Zandvoort turn 1, right? Both very, very long corners. You're turning right like forever in those. You might have to compensate for that, right? So the best way, of course, is just do a few laps. Do a few laps, see what the pressures look like. If it's too hot, too cold, just adjust it until you find the sweet spot. And that's how we do it. Caster, whack it all the way up. All the way up. All the way up. Just don't ask why. Just it works. It works. It works. It just works. Just crank it all the way up. So your next issue, you can't seem to do a decent lap without the car coming off. Car coming off, what? Car coming off the wheel, car coming off the tarmac, onto the grass, into the grandstand, going airborne. What's the deal, you know? That, right. Do you want the PR answer or do you want the harsh truth? Choose. Do you want the professional answer or do you want the truth? Do you want the bitter sweet, the bitter sour, salty truth? Oh, the triple screen donation meter. Oh, really? It's too small. I can't see from here. But what does it say? Does it actually say 222? Heck yeah. All you, Narab. All you. Mostly you. The bitter chat. Nah, I'm saying, I'm just giving facts, man. I'm telling the truth here. I was gonna say skill issue, but yeah, it's not practice. It's not practice, right? I mean, you can go up to YouTube and pull up a lap and see what these fast guys are doing. That's one way to learn, right? I think if you know you don't know what you're doing, it's always good to just look a lap, right? Me, I'm at a point where I don't completely suck, right? Me, I'm not watching videos of faster guys to know how to drive. I already know how to drive. I know how to figure out enough where I can get myself to a point where I can say, okay, this is all that my current knowledge will let me do. So I'm gonna look for help and see how I can do better than this and to fill in any gaps that I don't know. So for you, for someone new, for instance, that counts as the driving as well. You got to know how to drive as well. Right? How do you drive? How do you drive? How do you learn to drive? So one way is you can just see, watch this here. You can see how I'm driving. You can see what kind of lines I'm taking. You can see where I'm braking, right? And then you try to replicate it. You try to replicate it and see, okay, what is it that I'm doing differently than that guy? That's where you start getting into the specifics of it. What am I doing differently? Why are they turning better, but I'm not? Why are they keeping it steady, but I'm not? How are they going flat out there? I couldn't go flat out there. You know, how are they braking so late? How are they braking and turning so late without losing the rear end? You've got a lot of things that you can do to make things safer, of course. I mean, you could just crank up the TC ABS, maybe the TC2, but this car doesn't have TC2. You can crank up the electronics to help stabilize the car. Yeah, a little bit. Like this is e-sport level. This is like fast driver level. Now, this car technically runs at 1, but I'm just keeping it safe. But that's the thing. There's a lot of nuance to it. But I'll say if you're going off track, right? Here's what you can do. Here's what you do. I'll give you some actionable steps for what you can do. If you're going off track too much, just brake early, right? Start by braking early. Just take it slow, brake early, right? Brake early, start slow. So for instance, if you're turn 1, I brake at 100 meters. Instead of braking at 100 meters, maybe brake at like 150. Brake at 150. And you realize that you slowed down enough. What that allows you to do is you're approaching corners slower than you need to, for the most part. So just brake early, turn early. Make sure you've understood the line that you want to take. Make sure you've already got the desired line. So there you go, just braking very, very early. Then I'm turning and I'm saying, okay, this is the line I need to be taking, but I want to carry more speed through it. So how do I do that? And then you slowly start pushing the brake marker a little further, little further, little further, until you reach a certain point where you feel like, okay, I'm carrying enough minimum speed through the corner where the car is still gripping to the line that I want to. It's not understeering, it's not oversteering, it's just right there. That's where you think that's where you found the limit. It's a long method, but it's the best method if you want to both get a feel for the car safely. And honestly, for anyone new, right, it takes longer. Let me make it clear. It takes longer to develop that, to kind of figure out the limit of your car yourself. But in the long run, you will be so much better than just pulling up YouTube, watching a video, and then doing exactly what the video does. Sure, that is faster. Within like 10-20 minutes, you can watch the video and do the exact same. Okay, he's braking there, I brake there, I turn there. You can analyze one-to-one and try to replicate it. And you will be faster, no doubt, because having that knowledge alone takes a lot of the guesswork out. But by developing it, maybe even, missing your marks and failing and spinning and crashing a few times, by developing it and slowly finding your way to the limit, you will find that your car control is better, your predictability is a lot better, your consistency is a lot better, because you've already developed it from a safe standpoint by starting slow and then slowly pushing to the limit, where you're not right away just pushing at the limit. And you find that most of the time the problem is you're always going too far beyond the limit. You're pushing beyond the limit and you just can't get a grasp of where the limit actually is. Whereas if you start from under the limit and you slowly push to the limit, you'll find that you're more consistent just under the limit. That's where your sweet spot is. Yeah. The thing with a very fast driver and just a below average driver is just that, above average driver is that above average drivers, they're okay with driving just under the limit, safe. The car feels safe, predictable, manageable, doesn't want to kill you. It's fine. Good drivers, though, they can be on the limit and they know how to dance around the limit. Like me, for example, I can go above, below. If the limit was a line, I could just go above, I can keep dancing around it. I am both on the limit and not on the limit at the same time. Schrodinger's limit. Yeah, I'm just dancing around the limit. That's what a really good driver can do. That's what you want to do ideally. But if you're just under the limit as well, that's fine too. You're still carrying lots of speed. Okay? And for ACC in particular, I don't know if you know this. You can go to the audio, right? And do this. Tires. Crank it all the way up. Cronk it up. Right? Just go to tires. Crank it all the way up. Everything else, just kind of turn it down. We don't need it. Just crank it all the way up. Turn everything else down, whatever's unnecessary. Tires, you want that all the way up. Why? I'm going to be quiet now so you can hear. So I'm going to the Schumacher S's, right? Just listen to the tires. There we go, right there. So this is something I do in every sim. When I'm trying to find the limit, right? There we go. I turn till I find the limit. And a good way to find where that limit is I turn until I hear the tires. That's often the best way. The best and easiest way. A lot of the times you can be under or over the limit depending on the corner type in the car. But that's the point where you're just getting really nitpicky about it. You got to see the data, what the slip angle is and all that. And that's very tire temperature dependent as well. But basically you want to turn until you can hear the tires scrub. Like there's a little... You want to turn till you can hear that. That's how you know you're on the limit. And you have to kind of train your ears to look out for that sound. Anything louder than that is over the limit. Anything softer than that is under the limit. So that's how you know you're on the limit. The more you kind of you keep pushing the car to that limit, you know what it sounds like, you know what it feels like. That can be a bit annoying because it is different for every sim. iRacing's tires sound different to ACC. It sounds different to the original Assetto Corsa. It sounds different to Le Mans Ultimates. It sounds different to Gran Turismo. Everything sounds different, right? So it's all about, like I said, dancing around the limit. Start from being under it and then slowly push your way up. Hope that helped. Oh, you added, really? So it was at 220 before this? I appreciate it, man. Oh, curb. Honestly, the setup is good. The setup is potent. It's fine. It's got potential. We're doing 55s. It's potent. I think it's just not for the Nürburgring. Now, I'm going to do something controversial. I'm just going to put it back to the default, right? Okay, default. Back to default. Put it back to default. Okay, put it back to default. So everything's back where it is. And then this one, bring it back down to 57. That's good. Do I want to bring it down even more? Sure, why not? Sure, why not? There we go. Lower arb, yada, yada, yada. Okay, only don't touch anything else, though. Don't touch anything else. Don't touch anything else. How's the Merc compared to the Ford? Azib, my boy! Is that good? 55.5. But again, inconsistent. But that was with a setup. I had a setup from a friend. Someone gave us a setup, but that is a Watkins Glen setup. So I want to take it for a spin around Watkins Glen. I will be surprised if this is faster than the Ford. But that's just the thing, though. This car has a setup, and it's still slower than the Ford. Like, I have to work really hard to find the pace. Like, this can be as quick as the Ford, but I had to be so perfect that I only did 155.5, and then everything else was 56, 55 high. It was very, very inconsistent. I forgot to adjust the tires, didn't I? I did forgot to adjust the tires. Let me do that. Aggressive setup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. It's a funny little number game that I figured out that works pretty well. Okay, temperatures are rising, but let's leave that at that. Some reason I can only extract pace from the Beamer and the Mustang, yeah? I mean, the AMG feels good. It feels good, but here's the thing about the AMG. I can already tell. It's very setup specific, and the setup is very track specific. So there's two different specific setups that you gotta work with that make it very, very challenging to kind of adapt across multiple tracks. So I can't just take the exact same thing and drive it and say, oh, it doesn't work. It feels good here, but it doesn't feel good here. That's because the setup. It's so setup heavy. It's so setup dependent, right? I think default aggressive is a good baseline. I think I want to try. I want to try this right because every other test I did before was on the default aggressive. If the default aggressive is not great, I know for a fact then it's probably just the nature of the default setup itself. It doesn't favor the car. Yeah, it's potent. It's very potent. But again, I do want to take that setup and try it at Watkins Glen because it is a Watkins Glen setup. It is kind of foolish of me to take a Watkins setup and try it at the Nürburgring. It's capable. It's still faster than the every other car. Faster than the Huracan, faster than the Lexus, faster than the Lambo, faster than the what's that other car? Faster than the Porsche as well. But whereas with those other cars, I could do 55s consistently every time. With this one, it's like a one-off thing. If I get a really good lap, and if I'm focusing and pushing really hard, then I get it. But so it's kind of like, yeah. Did I try the setup? No. You know what? Since we're in the Merc, we will check it out. Was it a setup file you sent, or was it just like a? Hold up. Hold the phone. Was it a setup file or was it like a screenshot? I forgot. I completely forgot. I think I downloaded it on the thing. Ah, okay. It was a file. Okay, yeah. I have it on the file. I will get it set up later. Let me just try the default first. I want to get a baseline. If I can get a 55 with the default, that's all I want to know. Because I've been able to get 55 with every other car on the default, right? So it kind of doesn't make sense if I'm not able to do 55 with the default with this one as well. I mean, I already done it. I've already done it with the setup, but what about no setup? Already feeling very, very different. This is a TC2, TC1 car. The aliens even drive it completely off. Gone is the safe car that I'm used to driving. 55.5. Can I do a 55 flat with this big boy? Load. Warm the tires. Pressures are still very, very low. A bit too little intervention, it feels like. I am having a hard time just getting the power down. That was a terrible braking zone there. Was half a second on the first turn. Sector 1 already 1 second slower. Not a good start. Bit slippy on this corner here. a lot of the time, the biggest improvements I can do are just by changing the brake bias. So I wonder if I can just do that. One more percent up. Yeah, it does not like to be thrown around like that. Doesn't like it. Yeah, I just can't seem to get that transition right from that left-hander to the right-hander. Missed the apex completely. Yeah. You know, we're already 3 seconds off. When there's compression, when the downforce comes into play, the car feels good. You can really trust it and lean into it. Without it though, it's kind of not quite there. Doesn't really instill confidence. Like, there we go. That was only like what, 10% brakes? Oh, good God. Hold on just a minute. Hold on. Yeah, so I thought that minimum limit is kind of screwing me over a little bit. Pretty weird. It is hard. It is hard with the default. I'm steering way too quick. Something ain't clicking. Something ain't right. But I can't believe that the Mustang was faster. Right? In my defense, with the setup, we did go about 2 seconds quicker than this, which is my previous best lap. But I can't stomach that idea. It's just so weird. Okay, now let's be fair. Use the setup for the track that it was made for, Watkins Glen. Let's see just how good or bad it is. Let me see if I can load it up. Let me load that bad boy up. It's not here. Okay, so our setup saved on a track per track basis. Is that how it works? So I gotta try it again, is it? Yike. Yike. All right, that means I gotta manually put it again. And I gotta download and install the one that Azib sent me as well. Gotta give that a try. That I believe is that is a Nürburgring setup. So that might actually make more sense than it. See what we can do. Azib, did you do the 12 hours of the Bathurst? Did you do that? Man, must be nice to be able to afford iRacing. Hey, did not do the 12-hour, no done practice here. Did the Aslan brothers actually get it? Did they actually get into top split, and are they actually running P2? That's crazy, man. How does one do P2 in top split? Or did none of the esport teams not show up? Or what's the deal? There's no way. There's no way. Okay, hold up, I'm trying to find where that setup is. Okay, it's in my own Discord. There we go. Okay, so all right, we gotta pull this up again. Okie dokie. So what are we looking at? Negative 0.3. Maximum, 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 maximum. 0.3. Negative 0.15. Again, I don't know why. Don't ask me. Just trust it. 21 degrees ambient. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think. 9. Okay. 9 and 8, respectively. Electronics. 3 and 3. Looks like a meta setup they're using. Yeah. So-called meta setup. I have no idea if this is gonna work, but let's see. Can I again? Behold, anti-roll bar up, anti-roll bar down, and then this one is like there, and this one is like there. Then this one is nothing, 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 and this one next to nothing, next to nothing, and then like that, and then like that. And this one is down a notch. This one is 57.4. Oh dear God. Now this one is nothing, 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 nothing. 7, 7, 7, 7. It's all sevens. It's all sevens. 7 everywhere. All right. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Okay. And then this one is 81. Then this one is like that. This one is nothing. Then this one is like that. And then this one is nothing. And then okay. Okay. We cooking. All right. Okay. Jesus Christ. What the heck? So dumb. So dumb. Anyway, give it back. Okay, now this is the actual Watkins Whack AMG. Here we go. Try max. Yeah. Okay. Yes, the thing, Azib, in every setup, number one thing to do, max the caster. Max the caster. Free FFB, free force feedback. Just max it. Just max it all the way. Free FFB, free detail, more grip, better speed. Just do that. That's number one thing to do. Number two thing to do is just mess with the tire pressure. Make sure the tire pressure is better. Just do that. That's all you gotta do. Now, this setup did feel good. It felt very rotatey. But that was the Nürburgring. That was a lot of short corners. The Watkins is medium to high speed, and it's filled with long corners. So let's see how this setup fares in a situation like that. All that rear aero should be holding the car down in the long corners because you're carrying lots of speed. I'm curious to see what's going to happen in the chicane. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen in the chicane. Oh my god, it just unfazed. Like there wasn't even curbs there at all. What? So that's what happens when you remove all of the bump damper. Feels good. Feels good. Yep, it's got the diff. Can I use different cars for different races in ARGP? Yes, but no. Yes, because you can, theoretically. No, because you will get penalized if you do so. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Azif? So again, for context, I have done a 54.8 here with the Mustang, which is the fastest I've ever gone. And then I've averaged 55s with every other car, same as the Nürburgring, very similar to the Nürburgring. What can this do? The fact that it's just gliding over the curbs like ice is amazing. Like nothing. The car's not bouncing, the car's not flying, it's just... Whoo! Literally gliding over the curbs. Depends on the round. Why do you say depend on the round? Like if you have a terrible pick of a car for that particular track, isn't there like a penalty for like a car swap penalty? Pretty damn good. The car feels great. The car feels like it was made for Watkins Glen. Understandable, because it is a Watkins Glen setup after all. I want to see how much more I can push it. Oh! Ho, ho. Anyway, that was not good. Whoops. Usually you can swap mid-season. Ah, okay. I don't know you can swap that. With the meme line. Hang on, I'll cool my tires down. Way too hot. It is understeering a bit on the final corner when I drive it like the Mustang. Hitting the wall a couple times. Perfect dip into that apex curb. I'm still getting used to the proportions, if I'm being honest. Like, I'm not sure where the right side of the car is yet. I haven't aligned it perfectly. Too much TC intervention there. Lost 2 tenths. There we go, that was better. Couple tenths there. Okay, as a minimum this thing needs to be able to do 44. Because if I can do 45 on the default, lean, there you go, very close. 55.4, that's good, that's really good. Can I get 1 more second? Close, close, close. I can push turn 1 a lot more. Didn't apex it enough. Honestly, man, the car was built for Watkins. The car was built for this track. I can go a full second faster. It's a skill issue holding me back at this point. Use the right gear, use the right gear. Did not use the right gear there. Lost a tenth. Don't stress, don't stress. Be calm. Close. We could have gone a full second faster. That is a 45 flat. It's still got a bit of, dare I say, turn in understeer. Lean. Ooh! Come on now, lean. Lost a tip there. .44.7. It actually works. Oop. I might have binned it. Maybe. We're fine. 44.7. Okay, that is my fastest ever lap. It is a bit inconsistent because it's a skill issue, but then I think it's safe to say right now I am about a second behind like top split, like what a proper fast driver could do. And I think that's just on average. I think I'm a second behind the fastest laps on the Nürburgring. I'm a second behind the fastest laps at Watkins Glen. I'm doing 44.7. 43 is what esports guys are doing. Interesting. Really interesting. Next up, Red Bull Ring. We actually beat this record 128 with the Mustang. Can a default setup do better? So default Merc at Watkins Glen wasn't great because it struggled a lot still at the chicane and the following right-hander. It just was not able to carry that much speed all too well. Yes, keep that brake bias nice and low. I'm gonna take a quick break. I forgot my water bottle. I'm gonna go get some water. Get some water. I'll be right back, yeah? Yeah. Oh, so I turn off that. Okay, so Streamlabs lied to me. I can't look at the YouTube chat, so I do need another way to look at the YouTube chat. There's been chatter, and by chatter I mean singular. There has been chat, singular, just one. But God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to y'all on YouTube, man. I don't know. I don't know if anybody's watching there. I'm just experimenting. I'm just a chill guy. I don't even know what I'm doing. Yes, there we go. I got my steps in. I don't know if you can see. I got my steps in. Yeah. Can you see my step count there on the thing? Yeah, look at that. That green bar, that's how many steps. I'm almost to 10K today. I'm at 7.5. Mall walking, man. Mall walking does that to you. You also chatted there today? Yeah. Because on Streamlabs, when you do multi-stream, there is a tab where I just click multi-stream, but that chat doesn't show up here. So I need to figure out how to get both showing up at the same time. It is weird. It is weird. I don't know how to do that. That's the first person ever to chat. Welcome in. Kitty Karas, who I don't think is here anymore, but never mind. I appreciate it while it lasted, though. Yikes. I don't know how long ago the chat was sent. I don't know nothing, dude. I don't know, man. I know nothing, dog. It's hard to keep track of both the chats. It really do be hard. Is there a way for me to like okay. Oh, hang on. Oh, yes. So okay. There we go. There we go. Okay, I can do that. I can do that. Yes. We can do that. Your optimal with the Merc is a 155 flat, but I can barely get a valid lap. Your optimal is a 155 flat, meaning you could have done a 155 flat, but you didn't do a 155 flat. Is that what you mean? So what did you actually do? What did you actually do? And also, out of curiosity, where do you keep messing up? Where do you keep messing up? Me, I would say I always mess up either the chicane or turn 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn 4. Turn 4, that long left and the slow transition to the right. I keep messing up there. I keep going wide across the white line, which sucks. I hate that. Can we go faster than the Mustang at the red ring? Let's stand out. You mess up there as well. I feel you. I still haven't figured out the perfect line at the Nürburgring, if I'm being completely honest. You always mess up turn 5 and the hairpin. Which is turn 5 again? Oh, yep. The default feels surprisingly planted here. Middle of the curb. The left-hander going down the hill, right. Yeah, the car just pushed wide on its own. That's awesome. Nice. All my iRacing paid off. I used to struggle so much with Red Bull Ring in general and Red Bull Ring's turn 1 in particular, but thanks to iRacing, I just figured it out. I know how to point for that perfect line. Hey, thanks, Azim. I will try the setup you sent me as well. I'm assuming you're practicing on that setup as well. I will do some few laps and I'll let you know how it felt. Appreciate it, buddy. I'll talk to you soon, okay? Bit of understeer. Bit of understeer there as well. Oh, careful, careful. That would have been a 29. That would have been a 29 if I didn't mess up the final corner. Okay, this car's got some game. And the pressures aren't even optimal yet. Bit late on the gas there. Oh, the Merc feels particularly good here. So planted and secure. Whereas the Mustang can feel a bit like a showboat sometimes. Sometimes it shows and sometimes it's a boat, so it's a showboat, you know? It's both. It's missed the final corner again. $29.5, okay. Sliding across turn 1, that was insane. No delta difference there. Yeah, pressures are still way too low. Way too low. We're almost 1 full PSI lower than the ideal pressure. And somehow I'm 1 second behind the Mustang. The exact same lap time, really? There's no way. The pressures are low. I'm 1 PSI down. Ah, messed that up too late. I'm pleasantly surprised. The car is actually good. It's actually good. On default, 129.5. It can go a lot faster. I'm guessing 28, possibly 27. The exact same lap. How how did I manage that? I can do a 29 flat, which is, yeah, okay. Okay. Now I can do a similar time. Not similar. The Mustang was a 28. It was way faster. Now I'm gonna just hold on a quick sec, right? I'm just gonna try to pull up a setup real quick and try to load it into the game. Azib. There we go. Top secret setup. Nah, it's not that it's a top secret setup or anything. I just don't want anybody see taking a peek at my WhatsApp. That's all. Okay, Azib did a 155.3 at the Nürburgring. So let's see if we can perhaps do the same. Also, is there chat in the... Okay, never mind. Okay, so how do I set up again? How do you do the setup? Cosa competición. Setups. Ah, okay, interesting. Like that, okay. All right, let's go back to Nurb. We'll do Silverstone last. I'm not too fond of Silverstone. Thank God Silverstone is the last round because I'm about done with the car. Let's try a different car. Let's try a different colored car. Same car, different colored car. Ooh. Ooh, they got a F1 team lookalike. Where's that Mercedes that fought with the Porsche again in the 24 hours of the Nürburgring? Was it her? Is my boy? There's my boy. My boy. My boy. 57.2. Bilstein. Yeah, the HRT setup. Okay, so we get that. I do that, and then... All right. What's different? Not Max Caster, surprisingly. Which is weird enough. The toes at 0.1, 2 and 3. 51 brake. Okay, okay. Very soft springs. Soft bump stop. Low range. Oh, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. If you thought that was wild, if you thought the 777 was wild, this is... Oh, okay. No bump, but all the rebound. Huh. And then, okay, max swing. Very, very high rake. Very high rake. Okay, I'm not gonna touch a thing. I'm just gonna give it a whirl. I'm gonna give it a whirl. Yeah, I like the livery because Arjun Maini is in it. That's the only reason. The only Indian guy there. I don't know if the tire pressures are gonna work, but I'm gonna say no. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then hope that's good. Hope it's balanced, and then well, we gotta tweak a bit. We gotta tweak a bit. Let's see if I can get close to Azib's time, because I think we're on par. So the largest source of rotation here seems to be the brakes because of that brake bias. This is even more aggressive than what I would run on iRacing. Even iRacing, I'd run like 40, 53, 52 and a half at most. No more than that. Okay, it's got a lot of turn in understeer. So I think it's not a... You can't coast with the car. You got to be on the brakes. The moment you coast, the diff locks up and it stops it from going any further. Oops, thank you for reminding me. My bad. Sorry, I know y'all love the Chan Cam. Chan Cam. Speaking of stuff, did y'all see the new PlayStation State of Play that happened recently? I didn't watch it, but I just watched the highlights of it. I think there are some cool games coming out this year, which I'm not going to play. That's okay. It's okay to be a broke gamer. It's okay. Perfectly fine. The God of War trilogy, yes. Love that. They're making a Kena 2, which I love. I love the first Kena. I think it was an adorable little indie game. Oi, easy car. John Wick. I want to play the John Wick game. I want to play the 007 game, the James Bond game. I love those games. I believe it's coming out sometime in March, which is pretty soon. Really, really soon. I mean, honestly, right, the only game that is coming out this year that I do want to play this year is Forza Horizon 6. That's all I want to play. I ain't got time for anything else, man. I still got my backlog, which hasn't cleared yet. I still haven't sold all of my old Resident Evil games as well. I still haven't platinumed RE4, 7, and 8 yet. I'm close, but it's not yet. 56.3 on the first lap, not bad at all. I kind of want to pre-order. I think the pre-order deluxe edition yada yada comes with a bunch of like outfits and stuff. I don't care for that. I just want the game. 00 Chan plays as 007. That's the stream title, right? That would be my kind of game to play too, because that's kind of like my brand. 00 Chan, by the way, in case you don't know the law of my name, my online name, it is inspired from James Bond. That is where my name comes from. That is actually where my name comes from. Like, imagine I get the game and I'll play the game in a full suit and everything. That'll be awesome. Not quite there yet. If this is a Nürburgring specific setup, it's not that competent. I felt like the Watkins setup was a lot better. Comes with the Golden Gun replica display. But wait, do you mean like a physical pre-order or digital? Doesn't feel very competent, this. I mean, the car feels safe, but it is a full second slower. Ah, the physical pre-order, okay. Now, hold on a minute. That was just testing. 56 flat is fine, but I gotta try to do 50. I gotta try to do 55 flat. So I gotta go a full second quicker without changing anything else. I like the brake bias. I don't think there's anything wrong with the brake bias. I'm getting rotation on the brakes. I'm not getting enough rotation on the power. Something's wrong. I'm not doing something right here. Yeah, I could have done a 55.9, which is cutting it close. PMR pre-orders suck. They had a physical pre-order, but it only comes with a poster. Ugh. Ooh, brother. Ooh. Ooh, what's that, brother? Brother, ooh. Oh. TC2 might be cutting it a bit too close, honestly. TC2 might be cutting it a bit too close. Did I hear PMR pre-order? Oh, we triggered Mav's secret agent activation code. Secret agent activation code. Mav got triggered. Yeah, he sure did. Man's traumatized with that game. How's it going, Mav? Today's Mercedes Day. Okay, my question is now, that curb right there, that turn 4 curb, to curb or not to curb? I think that is the biggest question. Do you curb it? Do you not curb it? Yeah, it's like I gotta be on the brakes all the time. It doesn't like it when I coast. So this is a brake heavy setup then. .194. Doesn't feel that quick. Maybe I'm just being too slow on the inputs, you know? Too smooth, too deliberate. This is a car, this sim rewards a bit of aggression. Maybe I'm not being aggressive enough. Gotta punch it a bit, you know? Yeah, that's a full second slower. I'm trying to go a full second faster, not a full second slower. It's too safe, dare I say. The setup is too safe. I just want to minimize that slide on exit. If I can minimize that, keep that under control. And I don't want to be doing those little catches there, way too late. I don't want to catch it. I want to hold it on the slip angle and then just go. James Bond looks like a very young Tom Cruise. A lot of people were saying that he looked like the protagonist in Kingdom Come Deliverance, Henry, and I agree. He does look like a modern Henry. Tom Cruise, I don't see Tom Cruise in him. I do see Henry. I've always wanted to play the original Kingdom Come Deliverance, KCD1, but now that KCD2 is like a big deal. It was almost Game of the Year last year. I'd love to experience a game like that. No improvement. I'm not going any faster, you know? The car feels soft, the car feels safe, the car feels a bit sluggish on the entry. You upgraded your PS Plus? Upgraded? Like what, to the premium edition or something? Glad you're having fun, man. Gran Turismo on PlayStation kind of changed your life, didn't it? Nah, man, the car just feels bad. Like it's so squirrely. It's not fast. It's not fast. Extra, right? It's not fast at all. I'm trying so hard to get it to the 55. Just isn't working. Gran Turismo is a good one, man. It is easy to use. Oh yeah, I already got the Platinum for WRC. promptly uninstalled it. Maybe to adjust more. No, again, because Azib is using the same setup and he said he did a 55.3. His optimal was a 55 flat, which means I should be trying to do 55 flat as well. In theory, this setup should be as potent as what the Mustang can do. The question is just, why isn't it faster than the Mustang? Is it me? Am I driving the car wrong? Gotta cut the inside curb. Wide. Very wide. The tire pressures are as close to being perfect as they could be. Yeah, but it's just, I can't keep it under control. There's too much rake, too much rotation. It's just unsteady. And you say that this is a TC1, TC0 type car. Wildly inconsistent. I'm not going any faster, man. I'm a full second down. Where could I possibly be using that much lap time? Yeah, I'm stuck doing 56 lows. I think I was doing better in the default setup, right? I was doing better in the default, I think. Yeah, this is unacceptable. Why is the setup so off? I'm a full second off, and I don't know what's the deal with the car. Like, it's not doing what I think it should be doing. Hmm. Now, I'm going to do something that I don't usually do. I'm going to test out the BMW. Ooh. I like that. 55 flat with the Mustang. How good is the BMW? Let's see. Aggressive. 9. Oh, that seems a bit excessive, but I'll roll with it. There we go. That's more like it. Right, this is going to be a no gloves affair because this is just one of the last things I want to do before we call it a night. I will be very surprised if the BMW is actually better than anything else. So far, even on cold tires and cold brakes, it feels, feels safe, feels basic, nothing inspiring, nothing interesting. Got a bit of snap to it. It's a teeny bit more rotatey than the Mercedes. Pressures look good. Try to push. Third gear feels a wee bit too safe. Gotta be soft on the brakes through there. There's no way. 56 flat on default. It's oh god. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I think like the Merc isn't a good pick. It just isn't. Maybe it's the driving style. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. It's mostly me. It's most probably me. Ooh. Mm-mm-mm. Nah, not when the default setups are already so quick. I'm stumped. I'm positively stumped. I think the 55 mid is possible with the default. Doesn't want to listen. Understeer into there. Exact same time. Give it the bite, come on. think I'm holding the brakes for too long through turns 4 and 5. On and off, on and off. Let the car roll, let the car cruise. Scrub some grass there. That is the 55.8, even though I messed up the final sector. BMW pretty decent, man. Come on now. Yeah, I think I'm definitely holding the brakes for far too long. I gotta release it quicker and sooner. That settles the car in. Bit of a scrub there, not great. Oh, he slopped that up badly. It's capable, man. It's very capable. I am pushing the wheels too much because I do feel understeer. I do feel the wheel go light suddenly. I'm transitioning it into understeer when I'm overloading the tires sometimes. Oh, smooth in, passed out. There you go. This car, I think, rewards a smoother approach, smoother exits. Can't be too aggressive with it. Still holds up well. Now that is an excellent time. 55.3. Seems like there might be one car that can put up a fight with the Mustang. I'm just gonna park it there. Nah, I think that messed up. Oh, pushing it too hard. Okay, this is a car that you can't be too aggressive with. From the looks of it, it is very, very potent. Look at that, all clean laps. It's good enough to keep it steady. 2/10 off sector 3, 1/10 off. So yeah, 55 flat. 55 flat is theoretically possible, and I did this with a BMW. 55566, and that is just awesome right there. And 56 won on my first lap. That is good. That is really good. This is good. This is really good. It holds up well. I can definitely do a 55 flat with this. I'm losing 2/10 in sector 1, and then one more tenth from the chicane maybe, or the Schumacher S's, and the transition before the back straight. Yeah. Man, okay. Wasn't expecting to like the BMW. It feels good. What can I say? It actually feels good. It's basic, yeah. It's basic. It's boring, but oh well. Are the view settings for each? Okay, they are for each camera. This is for like a TV. If you have like a television screen, that's why it's zoomed out. Closer in, stretched out. Car feels good, man. Car actually feels good. I am pleasantly surprised. Damn, okay, so the Mustang and the BMW are the top contenders now in terms of front engine rear wheel drive cars, but gosh, these two are good. Second best, of course, is the Porsche. I guess tomorrow we're gonna try the Lambo. Yeah, it's the only mid-engine car here. We can give the Lambo a go. We can either give the Lambo. I guess we'll try both the Lambo and the McLaren. Those are like the two safe picks. They're both solid. They're both great. But I'll stick with the Lambo because I'm impartial to this. So we'll give it a try. Title of the stream feels like a dating show. That's the point. That's the point. So tomorrow's episode 4 is going to be the Lamborghini machine. So yeah, stick around for that. I think I'm going to call it early, call it a night. 3 hours, it's been productive. I'm not even going to care with Silverstone. We will do a separate stream where we just get good at Silverstone, but for the sake of testing, we just got to test it at Watkins. I think Red Bull Ring, Watkins, and Nürburgring are 3 distinctly different enough tracks where I think it's enough. You know, Red Bull Ring has slow, tight corners, steep elevation changes. Nürburgring is slow to medium speed. Watkins is medium to high speed. So you can see how the car behaves in different scenarios. And Watkins has, you know, the extreme curbs in the chicane. So if the car can handle these 3 tracks, I think it'll be fine at Silverstone. Silverstone is medium to high speed, so it is different. Yeah, but if it can do well on 3 of the tracks, I think Silverstone should be fine. It's just a matter of me learning the track and being good at it. But hey, hope you all enjoyed the stream nonetheless. It's been a whole lot of fun. I'm going to call it a night early. I will do some LMU tomorrow on my own. I'll do some LMU on my own tomorrow, grind that rating up. I gotta get used to my softer brake pedal as well. I'm actually loving it. I'm actually liking it a lot. I think it's good for me to not apply too much pressure. And yeah, hope you all enjoyed it. I will see you all tomorrow. Till then, take care, stay safe, stay hydrated. Do I know the dating show where you give the flowers? Isn't that just like regular dating? You just give flowers to the person you're dating? I don't know. I don't watch dating shows. I've not dated much. I've dated like 2 women. And I'm with one of them. That's all I know. Take care, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed it. Stay safe, stay hydrated, and good night. Bye-bye.